Ethan was an ordinary young man living in a bustling city, juggling college, part-time jobs, and the never-ending distraction of social media. Like many others, he had dreams, big dreams, but every morning the alarm rang and he pressed snooze, telling himself, "Tomorrow I'll start fresh." But tomorrow never seemed to come. One evening, while scrolling aimlessly on his phone, he stumbled upon a story about entrepreneurs who had started their empires from scratch. One line struck him: "Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who rise while the world sleeps." That night, Ethan made a decision. Starting tomorrow, he would wake up at 4 a.m. Not for a week, not for a month, but for 1,000 days. The first day was brutal. At 4 a.m., the room was pitch dark, and every muscle in his body protested. The warmth of his bed called to him, whispering that comfort was easier than effort. But Ethan forced himself up, drank water, and stepped outside for a walk. The air was crisp, almost magical, as if the world had been waiting just for him. In that stillness, he realized he had hours he had never owned before. Days turned into weeks. The first month tested his willpower. There were mornings when he faltered, when the temptation to sleep in was overwhelming. Yet each time he pushed through, he noticed subtle changes. His mind became sharper, his mood more stable, and a quiet confidence grew within him. The 4 a.m. routine wasn't just waking up early. It was waking up to life itself. By the 6th month, Ethan had transformed his mornings into sacred hours of productivity. He read books, worked on personal projects, meditated, and exercised. While his friends slept, he was building skills that would later define his career. His energy multiplied, and even the long days at college felt manageable. People began to notice his discipline, asking, "How do you do it?" And he would smile, knowing it was simple, yet profound. Consistency over time beats talent any day. The first year was a milestone. 365 days of waking up at 4 a.m. had taught Ethan lessons no classroom could. Patience, persistence, and self-mastery became his second nature. He realized that success wasn't a sudden event. It was the sum of small, consistent actions repeated day after day. A single early morning did not change his life, but 365 early mornings had shifted his entire trajectory. As he approached 1,000 days, Ethan faced new challenges. There were moments of doubt, days when exhaustion from college, work, and life threatened to break his streak. Yet he reminded himself why he started. The thought of giving up became less powerful than the thought of what he could achieve if he continued. Each morning became a promise to himself, a contract he could not break. By the 1,000th day, Ethan's life had changed in ways he could hardly have imagined. He had launched his first startup, built strong relationships, and discovered passions he never knew existed. Waking up at 4 a.m. had become a habit so ingrained that sleep felt like a reward, not a default. His body, mind, and spirit were aligned toward his goals, and the young man who once hit snooze was now unstoppable. Ethan's story spread among friends and peers, inspiring others to rethink their habits. He realized that waking up early wasn't about the time on the clock. It was about claiming control of one's life, about showing up every day, no matter how small the effort. Success, he learned, isn't a magical overnight phenomenon. It is built quietly, steadily, while the world is asleep. And so the lesson remains clear. If you wake up at 4 a.m. for 1,000 days, you are not just waking up early. You are waking up to yourself, to your potential, and to a life you once only dreamed of. Every sunrise is a chance to start. And every day you rise early, you build a future your past self could only imagine.